Hi, I'm Mia, and welcome to this edition of The Pipeline, where we are refining the news that is important to you. Fracking hasn't unleashed an oil production boom in California, at least not yet, but could acid. Companies trying to pry oil from a vast shale formation beneath central California have been pumping powerful acids underground to dissolve the rock and free the petroleum within. And there are hints that the process, known as acidizing, may work better than hydraulic fracturing in California's Monterey Shale, which is estimated to hold 15.4 billion barrels of oil. In states such as North Dakota and Texas, shale formations that contain oil lie in flat layers that can be tapped by a combination of horizontal drilling and hydraulic fracturing. But California's Monterey Shale formation, folded by seismic forces, may respond better to acid pumped into vertical well. Unlike fracking, acidizing doesn't require high pressure or sand. It can, however, be combined with fracking in a process called fracture acidizing, or acid frac. Hydrofluoric acid is a powerful corrosive capable of eating through steel as well as rock, thus opening up tiny pores in the rock and allowing the oil to flow freely to the well.
The Marcellus Shale gas fields of West Virginia are booming. It's projected that the Mountain State natural gas production will increase by 50% this year. Horizontal drilling techniques and hydrofracturing methods open the Marcellus Shale for investment, which totals into the billions of dollars. An industry that's been active in the state for more than a century suddenly has a bright future. Corky DeMarco, who is the executive director of the West Virginia Oil and Natural Gas Association, stated that they have been producing the Marcellus Shale commercially for 200 years, and we have at least 200 more years of supply. DeMarco says the massive Marcellus Shale reserves and the Utica reserves, which are deeper underground, offer West Virginia a chance to become an international exporter of natural gas. He says in the near future, natural gas could challenge Middle Eastern oil as the major source of power in Europe. With more and more infrastructure being put into the West Virginia gas fields, DeMarco says the expansion of production should continue in the state for the next several years.
Thank you, Stephanie. Total U.S. petroleum deliveries increased by 1.7% from July 2012 to average 18.9 million barrels per day last month. This was the highest July level in 3 years. The summer travel season brought greater demand for several fuel types last month than we've seen in recent years. And on the supply side, we produced more domestic crude last month than any other point in the last 22 years. Refinery gross inputs rose 2.4% from July 2012 to 16.4 million barrels per day. This was only the second time above 16 million barrels per day since August 2011 and the highest level in 8 years. Exports of refined petroleum products averaged 3.4 million barrels per day in July, a 6.3% increase over last year. Domestic crude oil production rose 17.4% from July 2012, averaging a 25-year July high of nearly 7.5 million barrels per day. This was above 7.0 million barrels per day for the 9th consecutive month and the highest output of the month in the last 22 years. According to the latest reports from Baker Hughes, Inc., the number of oil and gas rigs in the U.S. in July was 1,766. That's all we have time for today. Thanks again for watching, and remember, we're drilling only for the relevant news and bringing it right to you through the pipeline.